And so, good morning and welcome to the Sunday Experience. My name is Brother Mark, and I'm one of the licensed CSL Redlands practitioners. And I invite you to join us for our morning meditation. And so, let's do that by getting comfortable in your space, finding a place where you are able to sit up straight, becoming mindful of your posture. Let's pay attention to our focused breathing. And inviting you to just inhale with me for a count of 1. And exhale for a count of 2. We inhale for a count of 2. And exhale for a count of 4. We inhale for a count of 3. And we exhale for a count of up to 6. And we inhale for a count of up to 4. And exhale for a count of up to 8. We inhale for a count of up to 5. And exhale for a count of up to 10. And simply inviting you now to allow for the outer eyes to close. And consider opening the inner eyes. Some call it the third eye. And with our third eye open, we see rightly, we see divinely, we see that God is everywhere present and right where I am. God is everywhere present and right where you are. And we simply consecrate this time of stillness and silence and meditation as a sacred and holy time, as a time where we connect in a bigger and bolder way to this power and presence, the omnipresence, our source energy, the Mother, the Father, the Infinite. We connect, we recharge, we allow for ourselves to sit on the way station for us to be fully restored and made new, allowing for our awareness, our consciousness to be still, to be connected, to be supported and maintained, fully sustained, connected into the one of the one, the one and only one. And so we rest on this charging station now for our highest and best good, expecting nothing and open to everything that's most needed for our soul's evolution at this very moment in time. We rest in this place now with comfort, with assuredness, with a great deal of calm, poise, and surrender. So inviting you to just allow for the heart space, allow for your heart space to fill with gratitude with each inhale, and gratitude with each exhale, and more gratitude with each inhale, and even more gratitude with each exhale. Returning back completely to the body temple. I'm grateful for our breath. So very grateful for our life. I'm grateful for our ability to be present in this moment, to be still, to allow for whatever is for our highest and best good to be sourced, to be supplied, allowing for transformation, allowing for revelation, allowing for manifestation of what is most needed right here and right now for our soul's perfect evolution on our individual journey at this very moment in time. How good it is to be still and know. God is, I am. God is, I am. God is, I am. And so inviting you to bring your awareness fully back. You may want to tap your toes to the ground. Taking some nice inhales in. And easy and gentle exhales out. Make sure you can feel the chair beneath you or the sofa, wherever you may be sitting. You may want to tap the fingertips together. And in your own time, allow for the outer eyes to gently open. Becoming aware of your surroundings and environment. Fully present back in this very moment in time as we prepare for the continuation of our Sunday experience. I say namaste.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together. Look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in a sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. We come together, yeah, we come together, oh, we come together, the name of love. From every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other, yeah. Now look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, yeah, we come together, oh, we come together in the name of love. We come together, yeah, we come together, oh, Oh, we come together, yeah, we come together. In the name of, yeah, we come together. We come together, we come together in the name of love.
Hello, I am Edward Fillion. This second week of August, our theme is Who Are We? The whole month is talking about inclusion in action. There is a value in getting clear about our identity as individuals and what we are bringing to the table. And there is also value in getting clear about the identities of others as a gift. This helps us foster inclusion. We are emanations of the divine, our teaching says, each one of us. And that means we are both unique and at the same time unified. We have various identities, preferences, and ideas. And we have a shared experience. It's called being alive. In our teaching, The Science of Mind, there is an invitation for us to get clear about who are we as an individual. What are your gifts, experiences, talents? Because when you and I are clear, it does allow us to embrace how others are the same, how they show up as their own unique emanations of the divine that they are. And not only may we allow others to show up the way they do, but also embrace that it is their differences and uniqueness that permits me, us, to experience the divine more deeply, more fully. Still, the question remains, why do some people not accept those who are different? Why do I not accept those who are different? And importantly, where do I reject the diversity that creation has produced for me? Becoming aware of biases is an important part in the journey of self-awareness, and it leads to wholeness. Honest inquiry into the self is an important and necessary step in building a practice of being aware of others with the ultimate goal of embracing all as expressions of the one life. I leave you with this affirmation from this month's content creators. I stand proud of who I am. I adore myself and give myself love freely. And I bravely heal my bias so that I can embrace all human beings and all of life with love. My blessings to you.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems that I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, the love that sets us free. There is only love. There
the foundations of the science of mind. This basic, informative, inspiring, and fun class covers the basic principles and practices of the science of mind philosophy. We're going to be covering such subjects as the creative process, grace, wholeness, attraction, abundance, living in the flow, oneness, immortality, and joy. We will learn spiritual practices such as journaling, affirmations, meditation, visioning, spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer, gratitude, and forgiveness. This 11-week class will be held online, and once you register for the class, you will receive your student workbook as well as access information to the Zoom room. We are offering this class on a pay-what-you-can basis. Each week during class, we will take an offering by directing you to a link on Zoom where you can give your class offering. To register, you can contact me, Reverend Carrie, at revcarrie@cslredlands.org and indicate that you want to register for the Foundations class. We look forward to having you join us on this amazing and joyful spiritual journey.
And so, good morning, everybody. My name is Brother Mark, and I invite you to turn within with me for today's opening treatment. And so let's simply exhale out everything that's preceded this moment in time. Just letting it all go with our breath. As then we breathe in now the love and grace of God. And we exhale easily and effortlessly anything and everything that does not match God's grace. Inviting you to allow for the outer eyes to close. Inviting you now to allow for your inner eyes to open. Some call it the third eye. And with this third eye open, we see rightly, we see divinely, we see as God sees. We see that there's only perfect God, perfect man. Perfect God, perfect man. Perfect God, perfect man. And it is from this place, knowing that God is everywhere present and right where I am, I know that God is everywhere present and right where you are. And so it is from this place of unity and oneness and unification that's the platform from which this opening treatment is spoken. Knowing that life is for you, life is for me, life is for CSL Redlands. For CSL Redlands is an idea in the mind of God and therefore is maintained on time, every time, by the same source energy that powers me, that powers you. And so how grateful I am to speak a word and know the truth this day, that it is magnificent, that this service today is a blessing, that Reverend Carrie delivers a message that inspires, uplifts, right? Allows for revelation and transformation and healing, that she indeed is the voice for God this day, speaking forth all that needs to be spoken forth in a way where each of us may be able to hear it freshly, allowing for each of us to open a place in our consciousness right here and right now. I see it in my mind's eye. I see an emptying out of everything I think I know, and allowing you to join me in emptying everything you think you know, so that we can be open and receptive. We can be restored and refreshed and made new. And so I just know that all needs are met. I see you divinely protected and hermetically sealed with health and perfect wholeness. I call forth grace, I call forth ease, I call forth the peace that passes human understanding. I call forth perfect finances and wealth and health and joy, divine right romantic relationships, divine right family relationships. I call forth all the good with the capital G to make its way to you right here and right now with ease and with grace, just like you're a magnet for your good. And if you feel that at home, just say, I am a magnet for my good. Yes, you are. And so with a grateful heart, feeling good about the word spoken, I release my word now to the law of life, knowing indeed the universe only knows to say yes, that the law of life doesn't judge, and so whatever's spoken into it is made manifest. And so I'm just knowing that anything that is heretofore blocked or hindered, deferred, denied, or delayed our highest and best good individually and collectively, let those things have no more power. They're vanquished, they vanish to the nothingness. They disappear now and forevermore and are replaced with the truth that God is at hand. Life is at hand. The universe is at hand. Source energy is at hand. Right here and right now. I feel it. I let it be. And invite you to say together at home with me, and so it is.
Okay. There once was an ugly duckling with feathers all stubby and brown, and the other birds in so many words said, "Get out of town, get out, get out, get out of town." And he went with a quack and a waddle and a quack in a flurry of eider down. That poor little ugly duckling went wandering far and near, but at every place they said to his face, "Now get out of here, get out, get out, get out of here." And he went with a quack and a waddle and a quack and a very unhappy tear. The winter time he hid himself away, ashamed to show his face, afraid of what others might say. All through the winter in his lonely clump of weed, till a flock of swans spied him there and very soon agreed. "You're a very fine swan indeed." "Me, a swan? Ah, go on." They said, "Yes, you're a swan. Take a look at yourself in the lake and you'll see." And he looked and he saw and he said, "I am a swan. I'm not such an ugly duckling, no feathers all stubby and brown. For in fact these birds in so many words said, the best in town, the best, the best, the best in town. Not a squawk nor a quack nor a waddle or a quack, but a glide and a whistle and a snowy white back, and a head so noble and high. Say, who's such an ugly duckling? Not I."
Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning at the Center for Spiritual Living in Redlands. It's so nice to have you here. Today we're talking about inclusive action, inclusivity in action. And this is the theme for the whole month. Today we're asking the question, who are we? As you've heard in the song by Gilman, there was a little identity crisis going on with that ugly duckling who turned out to be the swan. And so there's value in knowing our identity. It was certainly valuable for that duckling. We have a lot to bring to the table, and it's good to know who we are and what we can bring to the table. You see, we are divine emanations of the One. We know that, we teach that, we are that. And we are a multitude of identities all rolled into one person. It's kind of hard to pin down or capture any one identifier, but oftentimes there are experiences that we have that shows us that we are this person, or we are this person, or we are the person that we didn't even know we were. And we can identify ourselves by that. Years ago, for 50 years, I identified myself as a square dance caller. Now, I was many other things, but I was also a square dance caller. And in that identity, I was a woman working in a man's field. And so there were a lot of push and pull going on when I walked into a hall to call a dance. They were expecting something else, and they got this white woman who who could call a good square dance, and people were happy when they left the dance, but at the beginning they were a little iffy about the whole thing. I was even asked oftentimes if I could dance with a particular person even before I made it through the door of the hall. And I would always say, no, thank you, all of my dances are taken, which they were because I was on stage telling everyone else what to do. It was kind of fun. So you see, I had that identity, and I identified myself as that for many, many years. And it was a struggle for me to let go of that identity when it no longer served me. And I'm sure that many of you listening to this morning have had the same experience with an identity that you had in a particular profession. And we identify ourselves with that profession, with the work that we do there, with the gifts that we bring to that. And so what we need to do once we're done with that identity is to move on to the identity that more fully expresses who we are. Now, that's what I've done by letting go of the career I had as a square dance caller, a successful one too. I am now in ministry, and I identify myself as a minister. Many times, there are many other things that I am, and I'm sure that that's the same for you. You identify with being in one profession, perhaps in real estate, perhaps in the restaurant business, perhaps in the hotel industry. And you can also move forward from that identity into a new identity. Now, the thing that we're really talking about to this month and through this time is cultural identity. I identify myself as female, white. Oh my gosh, you couldn't find a more white person than me. And I know many of my friends do also. And I also know that my identity as a white woman has served me well in society, because our society as a whole has had a history of being white, middle class, people who who work in positions that white people get to work in? Yeah. And there's something else about this white woman that I want to confess today. I know that my Black and brown brothers and sisters have had a difficult time, a difficult struggle through history. And up until now, I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to know what they had to go through. I didn't want to hear all of the sorrow and all of the unfairness and all of the discrimination that they have gone through until now. I'm ready to stand up for my Black and brown brothers and sisters, stand with them, side by side with them, or in front of them to protect them. I am setting myself into a new place, a new identifier for myself. I am a white woman ally to my Black and brown brothers and sisters. Because I know that as we all take that step forward and put ourselves in that position, that we are not only helping them, but we are helping ourselves. You see, this oneness that we live in is the oneness that says when this person has an issue with something, we all have an issue with something. The deaths of Black and brown people in this country is terrifying to me. And what I know for sure is that it outnumbers the deaths of white people. I know that we have a difference of opinion going on about this. I know it. But this is the way I see it. This is the gospel according to Carrie this morning. What I want us to really understand is that whatever is happening to a person of color is happening to everyone because we are one. Think of this. If someone in your family has cancer, the whole family has cancer. The whole family lives with it and deals with it. I went through that several times in my family. And once it was with my 3-year-old grandson who had a brain tumor. We all had that same illness and we were all in that together. And being in this together allows us to also be more clear about who we are and about what we are thinking about other people. We may have an unconscious bias toward a specific group of people. We may have an unconscious bias toward a Black person or a brown person. We may have an unconscious bias that limits our ability to really get to know people and to really be a part of their experience while we're all here on this earth. You see, we all have gifts to bring. And if we allow our unconscious bias to get in the way of the gifts that we need to bring in order for our vibration to rise up, then we are limiting ourselves. I want to get to know people who I haven't had a lot of contact with throughout my life. I love hearing people's stories. I think it's the most fascinating thing because we are all on an adventure going through life in this great stream of humanity. And listening to someone's story is like really looking at a drop of water from the ocean. It's seeing all of the beauty and all of the various colors there are in their life. And very likely, we can identify with some of what they're talking about. Because you see, folks, we're all together in this. So when we find that we have a subconscious bias, it's time for us to get to know what it is we have a bias about so that we can learn more about that particular situation or race or color or whatever it is, so that we can more fully understand it. I know people who had unconscious bias toward me and my square dancing friends because they had a particular judgment about square dancing, that it's square, that it's not the in thing, that it's hokey. They had all of these judgments about it because they didn't ask any questions. They didn't get to know what it is that we loved about our activity. Now, with COVID, we don't square dance at all. There's no way to keep 6 feet apart and wear masks and square dancing. It's just not possible. So there are no dances now, which is very sad for many. I've retired from that activity, but what I know is that I have not retired from life. I'm still here. I still have work to do. I love what I do, and I love the people that I do it for. So what I want to invite us to do is ask questions and take the steps toward healing our unconscious bias about various people or even things in the world, and allow ourselves to stop gossiping, to stop talking about people in a negative way, to just stop and reflect and know the truth about them, that they, like us, are an emanation of God, an expression of the divine. And so, in order for us to really move forward on this path of healing, we must be self-aware. It's an extraordinary tool that allows us to get into action regarding inclusion. Because when we become inclusive and self-aware, then we are in a much greater opportunity for healing and for hearing genuine truth, for claiming our beauty and our power, and for becoming aware of our subconscious bias, so that we can really truly understand how they play into our beliefs and our behavior. We don't even know what we don't know yet about bias. I guess I'm speaking for myself. You may know a great deal about yourself and your subconscious bias. I don't. I have lots to learn. And I'm willing to allow myself to open up and learn that. See, healing can't happen without honesty and inquiry into the self. When we're willing to really dig into this, it helps us to step forward in the practice of being aware of others, of being loving to those around us, and loving them exactly for who they are. I know sometimes we do things ourselves that are totally embarrassing to us, and other people may not see it as anything that you've done to be embarrassed about. But you see, other people are loving us for exactly who we are and for exactly what we do. There's a saying that I learned way back in my first lessons in Science of Mind is that you can love the person without necessarily condoning their bad choices. Yeah. We're just human beings having this experience on this planet. And some people say we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Oh my God, are we having a human experience now? But this is our time to be able to sit with ourselves, to be able to really dig in to who we are. We are the swan. We are the magnificent beingness that is God. And so I'm inviting all of us this week to bravely explore your multitude of identities and find out about the complexity of them and the splendor of them. You might find that you are an amazing person at this, and then maybe not so amazing at this. We all are like that, and that's why we are all here, because all of us have a talent and a gift or something, and others of us don't. And so if we were on this earth all by ourselves with no one else around us, there would be things we couldn't do. I, for one, wouldn't be able to change a tire on my car or tune it up or make the gas to go in it. You see, we all have our gifts. We all have our talents. And as we move through this time, let's look at what is asking for healing in our lives. What is asking for healing within you? What keeps coming up that you're pushing away and saying, oh, I don't want to mess with that? Just ask and sit with that and allow it to heal. Call a practitioner, have them work with you around that healing. We have wonderful practitioners in our center who are ready to listen and pray and to love you. You may call them at any time. And then let's take a moment to be kind to ourselves and in that kindness, explore our unconscious bias around anything that may come up. You see, what we're doing is allowing ourselves to love ourselves, to have that self-love, and then being actually able to see other people as they are and love them just as they are. If you remember the song, everything is beautiful in its own way. Yeah. And everyone is beautiful in their own way. So it's time for us to stop judging others and judging the people that really tick us off. Stop it. Let's stop and recognize the beauty within them. Recognize what they are here to teach us, to give to us, so that we can dive deeper within ourselves to really know the magnificence of who we are and how we can help them to shine their light in a more mature and loving way. So we're here, we're all here, even the people that are different from us, every one of us, every color of us, every being that we are, every identity that we claim is here to see and know and love God, ourselves, the planet, the universe. We are here to do that. And we can do that. We are doing that by being right here in this service today. See, this is the act of being awake to the truth. The truth is, God is that presence within us, smiling through our face, our eyes, hearing with our ears, breathing our breath, beating our heart. We are the hands and feet of the divine. And we are here to awaken to the truth that the soul of the universe is our soul too. Yes, we are the soul of the universe. Howard Thurman says this. He's a wonderful author. I highly recommend him. He said, "There is something in every one of you that waits and listens for the sound of the genuine within yourself. It is the only true guide you will ever have. And if you cannot hear it, you will all of your life spend your days on the ends of strings that somebody else pulls." So we must know the truth about ourselves and the truth of who we are in order for us to move forward on this life path that is bringing us to that peaceful world that works for everyone. I have an affirmation for you today. This affirmation says this. It's kind of long, so hang on. It says, "I stand proud of who I am." Let's say that together. I stand proud of who I am. I adore myself. I adore myself and give myself love freely. And give myself love freely. I bravely heal my bias. Bravely heal my bias and embrace life with love with all human beings. And I embrace life with love with all human beings and all of life and all of life. And so it is.
Don't go changing to try and please me. You never let me down before. Don't imagine you're too familiar. I don't see you anymore. I would not leave you in times of trouble. We never could have come this far. Oh, I took the good times, I'll take the bad times, take you just the way you are. Don't go trying some newfangled fashion. Don't change the color of your hair. You always have my unspoken passion, though I might not seem to care. I don't want clever conversation. I never want to work that hard. Oh, just want someone I can talk to. Want you just the way you are. Need to know that you will always be the same old someone that I knew. What will it take till you believe in me? Way that I believe in you. I said I love you. That's forever. This I promise from the heart. I couldn't love you any better. I love you just the way you are.
Hi, everybody. My name is Richard, and I am a member over at the Center of Spiritual Living in Redlands, California. I've been going there for about a year now, and I'm staying. I told Brother Mark the other day that this place feels like home, and I'm not kidding. Whenever I'm there at the facility, and everyone there feels like family or friends. Here online, I mean, that still comes through. I'm talking to people who actually care. One reason why I decided to stay is because the truth is they made me feel like there's nothing wrong with me. I was told that I'm perfect just the way I am. And you know what? I believe it. I'm perfect just the way I am. You're perfect just the way you are also.
We have come to the time in our service where it's time for us to give our gifts, to give back to our spiritual nourishment. And this today is our opportunity to open up and burst open the floodgates of the law of circulation and allow those gifts to be received and given back, and received and given back. It's an endless flow of beautiful giving and receiving. I know that sometimes it's a little bit tight to give, but what I want you to know is that there's no big or small in God. And if you give from the overflow of your life, you will continue to give from the overflow because you can't outgive God. It's the truth. I know it, I live it. And so I just want to invite all of us to be conscious about our giving, to give from that place of love and caring and abundance. If you are on Facebook right now watching us, look to the right and you'll see the words "See More." Click on that and you'll see links show up. The first link is to PayPal. The next link is to Venmo. And under that is information about giving using Zelle. And under that is our church address. You can write out a check and mail it, or you can put it in an envelope and drop it by our secure mailbox at our center. The whole idea of giving is to allow us the joy of giving to something larger than ourselves, which is our spiritual source, our spiritual nourishment. So if you've already given, we thank you. Imagine holding that gift in your hand. And if you have your gift with you this morning, I invite it to hold it in your hand, invite you to hold it in your hand, hold it over your heart, And let's repeat our offering affirmation together. I'll say a line, and you can say a line. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief. It does great work in the world, and it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth. And who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth. And who we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world. You're a blessing to the world.
Before I begin the closing healing prayer, I want to invite all of you to come with us to our Zoom room after the service and enjoy some visiting and fellowship, and bring your snacks or your lunch with you if you like. We had a sort of a Zoom potluck last week, and it was great fun. We would love to see you there and get to know you a little better and just see how you are doing during this time. So come right after church to the Zoom room, and you'll find the information in the chat here on Facebook. And now for our healing prayer. I just invite you to close your outer eyes, relax into your chair, and take a beautiful deep breath, thinking of the word love. Breathing in, and as you release, release love. Another deep breath, breathing in love. Exhaling peace. Inhaling love. Exhaling joy. And in this centered place, we recognize the allness of God, the allness of that divine energy that is everywhere present. This presence and power is all wise, all knowing, and it is infinite. It stretches from here to infinity and back again, is anchored at the core of our being. This power and presence is all there is in the universe, everywhere we look, every time we speak. It is in the seen and the unseen. It is the life. It is the light. It is all that is. And this presence has created us. And so we are created from that infinite joy, that infinity of being. We are blessed by that wholeness and wisdom and joy and peace that resides within us. It is naturally who we are because the divine is naturally who we are. And because we are one with all that is in the universe, we are one with each other. Just breathe that in for a moment. One with each other. And so in this place of gentle consciousness, I speak my word to know the truth for each one of us, that we are powerful. We stand in our power and we speak our truth. We stand in the identities that we are, all of them. We stand in them and we express them fully. And we allow others to express their identities fully as well. And we stretch out our virtual arms and embrace all of those people who need comforting at this moment. We embrace all people who have come through a history of violence, discrimination, unfairness. We embrace them with that unconditional love that is God. And I speak my word for all of those who are unhoused at this moment. I know that their housing, their shelter is presented to them in miraculous ways. And they are protected and fed and loved by all of those around them and themselves. And I speak my word for all of those who are ill this day, knowing that wholeness is the truth of them, and knowing that healing is already in place. And the perfection of God is shining forth through each of them, all of them. And this perfection of God shines through us. We are blessed in that wholeness and perfection that is divine. And we are divinely encircled in that beautiful white light that is that protective love of God. And as we move through our days this week and beyond, we are blessed with all of the abundance we can handle. We are blessed with life overflowing with good, with awesome miracles. We are blessed with an overflow of friends and loved ones, conversations, interactions, great books, good movies, positive influences in our life. We are blessed with all of the good of the universe. And because we are blessed, all of humanity is blessed as well. And I speak my word for every church, every mosque, every synagogue, every form of worship, knowing that the light that is at the center of their faith is shining forth out into the world, merging with all of the other lights around the world, encasing this earth in a beautiful white light that is spiritual magnificence in all people, as all people. And this light expresses larger and larger out into the universe, bringing peace, bringing harmony, bringing joy, bringing all of the attributes of God into being throughout the universe and on this planet and within our hearts. I give thanks. I give thanks that my words are already acted upon by that universal law that we sometimes call the creative medium, that infinite place where God does its perfect work on our behalf. I give thanks knowing that my words are already made manifest and that life continues to unfold in grand, glorious, and magnificent ways. And so in this deep, deep gratitude, I release these words into the divine, knowing that all is well, knowing that all is love and all is God. And so we can anchor this by saying, and so it is. Amen. Namaste.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me learn from all the ways I fail. Let me learn from all the ways I fail. Oh, let me know that love can heal us all. Let me know that love can heal us all. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. 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 Oh, let me share the good that's overflowing. Let me share the good that's overflowing. And let me care for those around the world. Let me care for those around the world. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. And let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way.
And so now that our Sunday experience has concluded, you're invited to join us in the Zoom room by following the links and the instructions that you'll see. So it's simple. Just come on in and say hi. You can turn on your video, you can see others, you can hear others, and check in and connect. We're usually in the Zoom room following our Sunday service for about 30 minutes or so. So come on in, say hello, know that you're never alone, You're always loved. You're always completely sourced, supplied, and maintained by the power and the presence, the love, and the grace of God.